In this video, I will go over the got it questions from section 4-2. Now again, you need to try these videos after you watch each video segment, and then when you're all done, you can watch this video and with a different color pen, make corrections and also explain those corrections. Okay, in this one, we're asked to prove that two triangles are congruent. And again, this is something that you have to be able to do in this chapter. And just like any proof, I will start off with the given that BC is congruent to BF and CD is congruent to FD. And the reason for that is it's given. Okay, the tools that I have from section 4-2 are the side postulate and the side angle side postulate. Okay, so looking at this picture, which one should we use? Well, we don't know anything about angles. So we will need to use the side postulate. Okay, but how can I get the other side? Well, the other side is right here in between, and they are congruent to BD is congruent to itself by the reflexive property. So BD is congruent to BD by the reflexive property. Okay, now that I know that all three sides are congruent to each other, I now know that triangle BCD is congruent to triangle BFD, and the reason is the side postulate. Okay? This is the type of proof that you will need to be able to do. In the next one, it asks, what other information do you need to prove that triangle LEB is congruent to triangle BNL? Well, all we know is that these two angles are congruent. Okay? And looking at this picture, I notice that these two triangles, they share a side. So I know that LB is congruent to itself by the reflexive property. And so what other information do we need to use SAS? Well, the angle in SAS has to be in between the two sides, just like A is in between the two S's. So the other side that I know is this side over here, so that the angle I know is in between. So the information I need is that LE is congruent to BN. Number 3, would you use SSS or SAS to prove the triangles at the right to be congruent? Okay, well, although we're given an angle, be very careful about that angle, because we'll notice in this triangle, the angle in between the 2 segment and the 3 dash segment, whereas over here it's between the 2 and the 1. Okay, so these aren't really corresponding angles as we might think of it. Okay, but since we know all three sides are congruent to all three sides in this one, I would use the side postulate. Okay, because the angle doesn't correspond as we might think. And that's the end of the got it questions for 4-2.